This is Chop It Up, co-starring The Dollhouse.
The dollhouse. I got furniture for my dollhouse. I got a carpet for the upstairs room.
Wow.
I
Splurging
know.
a little bit, huh?
I happen
What?
to have a.
I said
Cast in
splurging
the
a
rug.
little bit.
Splurge, I'm telling you. You gotta have a hobby. I got a brass bed.
Ooh.
You see and I got a lady for the house. You ready for this?
I saw that.
Ooh.
Wow.
Let's put her back up on her brass bed. There you go. I got her a toilet and a sink. What?
Wow. Definitely's gone overboard.
Oh, you gotta have a hobby. That's a
Well,
pretty innocuous one, I
yeah,
think.
Well, the hobby I have, we won't even classify it.
What? What's your hobby?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Oh man. Yeah, I went to Orlando to get stuff.
Yeah, it definitely is not going to state parks and hanging out in the water.
Oh God, I love springs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How about this? I hate to interrupt you guys' conversation. However, Michelle, this is just a follow-up for what we were talking about yesterday.
Uh-huh.
What I said is, I've changed it to where it says, if you got issues about spending time with a guy who's been in prison, I get it, and I'm cool with that. Everyone is not for everyone. Thanks for your time. Is that better?
That is much better.
Okay.
The other one was very bitter.
Well, that's because they piss me off sometimes.
You can't take it personal. It's
Well,
not
what it is-
personal.
It's when they act like, oh, no, it's okay, everything's fine, and then I'll call you and. That's
Because
the end.
people want to be good people. They want to be good people. Most of the time, people want to be perceived as being a good person. So that's why they do that stuff. They go, oh, because they want to see it. But then it turns out that they can't handle it. So,
Yeah.
and that's why you say everybody's not meant for everybody. It's just not.
Just not.
No.
Alrighty. I don't know if Barry's showing up today or not. However,
So let me tell you what happened with Barry and his microphone.
you told me.
Did I tell Rebus?
Oh,
No. What
So
happened?
we were getting Barry a microphone, and then Barry gave me the wrong address.
Yeah, Barry acted like Michelle was his probation officer. Gave her the slip.
The package was undeliverable. It looks like because it was a 1 and a 2, it looks like his finger hit the 2 instead of the 1.
Yeah.
So now we're waiting on another microphone.
Wow.
I'm going to have to ask Barry. I'm going to call Barry right now and ask him what's going on.
Yeah. Barry can't think just because he didn't get his microphone. He doesn't need to show up.
Oh, Michelle. So what's any further update on the doing with the class or the?
I haven't gotten any feedback. I haven't gotten anybody say anything. So I got to figure out how to do it differently. Because I know that there's a need. So somehow, some way.
Remember what I
Hey, what's
originally
going
told you
on?
from the very beginning, our first conversation about like the
Oh,
rap
you're just getting
session.
up right now. Alrighty. Well, we're waiting on you.
Tell him to tighten the hell up.
Okay, doke.
You heard me,
Alright,
Michelle?
alright.
No.
I said
What?
about remember our original conversation about having like the rap session,
Yeah.
but
Well, I just woke Barry up, so he'll be here in a minute.
Good. You were saying
and,
about the rap session.
right, and I like that platform. That's pretty slick there, confidentiality, because it is like patient confidentiality type thing.
Yeah.
And they would have to get some kind of search warrant or something if some kind of crime was committed. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, because there's no recording of it. So
Right.
they can't get a search warrant for anything. And anything that any of us have to say is hearsay. You can't use any of it.
Right.
Actually,
Spoken
there are
like a real criminal.
there are vast exceptions to the hearsay rule, so don't just think hearsay is inadmissible.
Yeah, but I don't recall anything that was said.
Right, that works. That works. And
How
you're
this
only
works,
allowed
Remus. I
to.
worked in prison. Like, I worked as a counselor in prison. You know how much shit I heard?
Yes.
Sure.
But like I said, that's part of the criminal personality. But it's all right. You can be an honorary member of the criminal personality group.
I have no knowledge of such a place.
Because I know how to protect people's privacy and understand that I have to be willing to meet people where they are instead of because I can't help people unless they're honest.
Right. And you got to remember that is a hallmark of the criminal personality. When a law is presented to you, you find ways to go around it, under it, over it, through it. Remember, it's like the same thing about the locks. Locks only keep honest people out.
Prison screwed me up. I don't know what to tell you.
You know the.
But you didn't go that far.
What do you mean?
And I think that's one of the things we could talk about. That most people said that the majority of people aren't in prison or in jail because they just haven't gotten caught. But a true criminal personality, there is going to be some legal and law enforcement involvement because you can't get away all the time. 99 times, and that 100th time will get you.
Yep. That's what I explained to my kids.
I don't know what all this getting away with
they
stuff.
think that they're so smart. They think that they're so good because they haven't gotten caught. I said, why do you think you're in therapy? You got caught at least once. Like,
But see,
you're not very good.
it goes back to what I said, that one of the fundamental flaws of criminal thinking is that the criminal believes he has to make a mistake in order to be caught.
Yeah.
As if there are no smart police officers. You could do everything according to plan and still get smashed because there's a cop who's just as smart as you are, and he has every bit the resources that you have and more.
And not only that, you can't possibly take all the variables into consideration. There's just some things that you just can't plan for.
Well, I mean, regardless.
And you know what I'm saying? And a smart cop is one of them.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, in a world where the criminal has all his I's dotted, all his T's crossed, everything done to perfection as far as he can, there is still a cop somewhere who's just as capable of doing the same thing on his side of the line. So, like I said, I used to do it when I got caught sitting in the box. What did I do wrong? What was my mistake? That's just, it's the ego. It's the ego part of being a crook. And the bottom line is, hell, you didn't have to do anything wrong. However, in prison, most of the times you did do something wrong because most of those cops are dumbasses.
Or they knew you were doing something wrong, couldn't catch you, and just wrote a bogus DR.
No, see, it's crazy, right? But when I began doing my time and began my criminal activity in prison, it was like there was a level of acceptance. If you were selling dope, the cops were like, as long as nobody's dying, as long as nobody's getting hit in the head with a pipe, why mess with this guy? Because if we lock him up, somebody else is just going to start selling dope and he might be a dumbass. Now, there was a less of an acceptance for the drugs because of the whole contraband pipeline theory, that if you have it, you have to have a way to get it in. And if you're getting that in, you could get something else in. So, but like for the most part, if you were loan sharking or if you were running a gambling operation, they pretty much didn't care because somebody else would do it if you weren't there. And I mean, there were times that the cops would come up to me and say, how's business? You know what I mean? And it wasn't like a shakedown opportunity. It was just like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Hey, you know what? You run a pretty good operation. I don't hear anything bad about you. The guys win, they get paid, and all that. And then it somehow transmogrified itself into something where prison is over prosecuted in the things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. and under prosecuted in the things that are. I mean, the gang activity is just ridiculous. Now, but see, right now, even the gangs hate it because the gang activity used to be the major player on whether the yard was going to open or not. Well, Corona trumped that. Corona don't care about nobody, no thing, you know. And you know, in prison, these guys actually think that they get famous for closing the yard. Oh, we locked the yard. They'll be back in their confinement. Dog, we locked down the yard at Madison. You know, like what the hell is that?
They're supposed to be doing something about the gangs.
Well, they had talked before I left the county jail. You know, guys who were coming back, we were asking them what's going on, what's this, what's that. And last I heard, they were talking about increasing the CM bed space to 10,000.
What they're trying to do, I don't know if they ever did it, was they're supposed to be doing, you know how you have incentivized camps? They were supposed to be doing decentivized camps.
Right.
There was like a loophole to go around CM.
Well, hey, but they tried that, and one of the things that derailed them was a case out of California. And DOC in California lost about that because, you know, in California, they have whole prisons, but nothing but gangs. And
sure. Same thing in Texas. That. In Texas, they have gangland prisons.
Right, but they I guess I forgot which would whatever circuit court that is out there, the 1 or the 3rd or whatever it is.
Yeah, but
kind of curtail a lot of the activities they were doing.
All right, but in fact, like as in, you know, like the de facto case where even though it's not stated, you know, it's pretty much the way it is. They already have dump off camps. You know, Taylor was a dump off camp. Washington was a dump off camp. Charlotte was a dump off camp back in the days. Martin.
Columbia.
Yeah.
Hamilton. Now, Hamilton was another one.
Some of your issues are the more sane cops don't want to work there.
Yeah.
But then you always got some gung-ho guys that do, you know, want to work at those camps. But look, there's a whole lot of guys throughout time that say we don't judge people. You know, we let people put themselves in a category and just deal with them accordingly, you know. And if a guy is in a gang, I say put all of that gang at one place. But you know what's going to end up happening? The guys in that gang, like let's call them the mouth breather gang. One day, if all the mouth breather gangs are at the same spot, right? And the reason I say that is because some guys will mistake it. If you name drop a gang, it's like you glorify them. Oh, dog, we were there. You heard them. They were talking about us. We're everywhere. You know, all that crazy nonsense. So let's just call them the mouth breather gang, right? So if you take all the mouth breather gang and you put them at one camp, sooner or later, they're going to be killing each other.
Yeah.
Or
they already do kill each other.
Hey, or if not, they're going to come up with a new gang. Because it's always going to be separation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how they get unity, is an us and them mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm talking about, no, when I say kill each other, I mean, hey, Barry.
Kill each other, hey.
Guys from all the same. I'm talking about guys from all the same gang.
Yeah, even the same gang. They kill each other.
Of course.
They take each other out because this one disrespected that one, and this one didn't follow the code, and this one did that one.
They'll branch out, and they'll have another group come.
Yeah.
Because they just have to have the distinction.